How do you know the Qur'an is true? To investigate the truth value of the Qur'an and Islam, we'll use the epistemic tool of perception as well as reason. We will literally witness a miracle, which will indicate that the Qur'an is of divine origin, and thus its claims are true and must be taken seriously. A miracle is any event which is beyond the ability of nature to produce. The only productive power which can exist beyond nature is the divine. For example, not being burnt by direct exposure to flame, or a wooden staff turning into a living snake, or an infant being able to speak eloquently. All those are events which nature cannot produce. Therefore, their production is miraculous and a sign of the divine. The Quran is a special book because it doesn't simply tell people to believe, it challenges them. It challenges them to falsify it. In several verses in the Quran, it challenges all of humankind to falsify the Quran by producing a text of equivalent or superior quality. This challenge was even lessened to demanding only the production of a single chapter, let alone the entire Quran. And the smallest chapter is only 10 words. So you don't need polemics, you don't need insults, you don't need wars, you don't need crusades. If you truly want to terminate Islam, you only need words. Only 10 words. And then Islam is finished. This challenge is not merely about subjective aesthetics. We can actually observe some objective metrics to determine if a text is superior to the Quran. For example, the Quran deals with specific events and topics. Can a challenging text address those same topics with a unique literary style, have greater economy of words, use more eloquent or precise word choices, use more rhetorical devices and linguistic features, and still convey a profound message? If a challenging text can do such, then it would demonstrate that the Quran isn't a miracle. Because nature, which includes the brains of other human beings, can also produce something analogous. However, if people can't produce something like the Quran, then it would indicate that the Quran's production would have to be of divine origin. The harshest critics and haters of Muhammad, peace be upon him, aren't the amateur goofballs of today. They were the tyrants of his time who killed and maimed innocent Muslims. They boiled red with fury and hatred for Muhammad, peace be upon him, and Islam. And they also happened to be the best equipped for falsifying the Quran, as their eloquence, knowledge, and mastery of the Arabic language was of the highest degree. So they were the people for the challenge. However, all their attempts to outdo the Quran failed miserably, which they themselves had to shamefully admit. The challenge remains open to this day and until the end of time. And the Quran was a miracle in the time of Muhammad, peace be upon him, and it remains a miracle which we can witness ourselves to know that there is no God except the God, and Muhammad is his slave and messenger. Argument review. Any event beyond the productive capacity of nature is a miracle. The Quran is beyond the productive capacity of nature, which includes the linguistic abilities of other human beings. Therefore, the Quran is a miracle which we can perceive by our direct experience, by hearing its words, by seeing its letters, which acts as a signpost to it being from the divine.